Okay, so here we are. We are back with the Brave manual test. So right now I'm going to go ahead and walk through the ledger test. I believe last time we went ahead and skipped ledger, sync, data, and we went down to about pages, bookmarks, context menus, geolocation. So we got a good chunk of the way through all of these manual tests. For this version, which I believe is 0.14.0. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to the ledger test here. So let's see here. Create a wallet with a value other than $5 selected in the monthly budget dropdown. Click on the add fund buttons and check the Coinbase transactions are blocked. So let's see here. Preferences. Okay, perfect. So payments. And let's go back for these exact parameters. Create a wallet with a value other than. Okay, so I think what this means is that we need to select $5 and then see if we can add something more than that $5 amount. Well, let me reread that again. Okay, so actually that means other than $5, so we'll go ahead and do 20. So it looks like I'm wondering for that particular test if it says create a wallet with a value other than 5 selected in the monthly budget drop down, click on the add funds button and check that Coinbase transactions are blocked. I think what it means is actually this particular case here, which it says, sorry, adding funds with credit and debit card is available only for contributions of $5 a month at the moment. I think that needs to possibly be rewarded. So I'm going to go ahead and add that to notes here. Let's see here. So I will just go ahead and just kind of a recap. I am trying to make a little bit more of a beginner-friendly manual test version. So if you're brand new to this, then you'll just be able to read the instructions and not really have to think too much. You'll just be able to go ahead and run each and every manual test that is set up here. So we'll go ahead and changes, add clarification to this test that is for debit card users only. Okay, perfect. But I believe that passes. Okay, so we're going to remove all the ledger. So I think before the clarification was this, and I believe this was like a regular expression for every ledger dash, fill in the blank, which would be that asterisk.json file. So we have to remove all those ledger JSON files. So we're going to go ahead and navigate to that area. I'll go ahead and just type it in here. Library, application. Applications. Support. Ooh, too many. Okay, well. Word / ERA. Nope, don't want to do it. Interesting. Okay, so I guess I will have to just cd in applications. I might have my directory off a little bit. cd back out. ls. So if you're having trouble, like me, with the command line here, accessing those ledgers.json, I believe I was able to also access them through just the typical file explorer here. I think. Okay. Well, it looks like I might be having problems with this. I might have accidentally RMRF that whole entire file. So I will have to come back to that and just check that at a later date. Click on the add funds and verify the adding funds. So I think what we'll do is we will move to the New York Times site and make sure it shows up in the payments table here. And it looks like I have visited this quite a few times before, so it is showing up in the payment table. So that is a successful pass on that test. Go to HTTPS, open that link. Okay, so click the register button. here we go. Here's the register button. And let's make sure. Wow. And go to preferences. Go to add funds. Yay, there it is. So it looks like that test case passed. So we're going to go ahead, and that was pretty straightforward. So I don't think really we need to reward that. We'll just take careful reading on the person who's conducting the manual test part. Let's see. And then we'll go there. Go to unregister. Boom. Verify the transfer funds button is no longer. Yep, cool. So that test looks like it's passed. I don't know. I might recommend possibly that we prompt the user to have the preferences tab open when conducting this test. So that might be, that's a little bit minor. It's not really a big deal here. J's fiddle. Wallet test, recommend. Okay. All right, so check that disabling and enabling, disabling payments and enabling them again does not lose state. Let's see here. So it looks like it's keeping everything here. I'm going to have to conduct this with a wallet balance just to make sure that this is still working. But for now, I'm just going to leave this blank. I think I might just check this between my desktop browser at home. So we'll go ahead and put that off. All right, let's circle back and see if ad block loads here. I believe I already ran this test, but we can be extra sure that it ad block. Boom, perfect. So it looks like that test case ran. It was weird on Sunday night when I was conducting this test. It wasn't loading that page. It actually got stuck in the spinner for a while, but it could be because I was using a Wi-Fi hotspot as my internet connection to run that test. Let's see here. Okay, so autofill. So about boom. Boom. There we go. Cool. All right. Okay, so for context menu, I believe last time I was having a little bit of a trouble trying to figure out what a context menu is or was, and it's really simple. It's that. That is the context menu. So I believe that is what the context menu is. I'm still gonna have to double check on that, but I'm pretty sure. Actually, we can just do a quick Google here. But I think the point of this is to have all the resources in a central location, so we don't have to keep searching for what these specific descriptions mean for people who really aren't in the know for this. Let's see. Okay, so never mind. That's not the drop-down menu. I was completely wrong in saying that. So I think it's this. The context menu is basically whenever I kind of right click down. At least that's what I thought that said. Here, let's go back here. So, context menu is a menu in a graphical user interface that appears upon user interaction, such as a right-click mouse operation. So, that would be a recommendation to put up there, just to make it clear for people who are either new again, or maybe English isn't their first language, and they don't have complete command of the English language. So it might be in our best interest to make it extremely clear what we're wanting from these tests. So make sure context menus items in the URL bar work. So I'm going to say cut. I'm going to paste. I'm going to copy. Boom. Paste and go. So all of those look like they work. So that means that passes. But yeah, I'm going to figure out a way maybe to be a little bit more specific here with the context menu items, like possibly, hit right click in the URL, you'll see a context menu, and then do this. Then go copy, cut, paste and go. That would be much more clear for people to pick up. So context instruction, need more detailing. Okay, perfect. Okay, work with selected text, we did that. So when I sat here and did something like copy, and then we'll clear that out, and doing paste and go, that is the same exact selected text that I was using. So that works. Okay, so find on page. Ensure search box is shown. Man, I can't even remember what I was doing here. I'm going to come back to that while we kind of got a good flow going here as far as these manual tests. Okay, test hamburger menu zooms. So I believe, let's just... I'll have to come back to this. I have a note on that. So, again, a little bit of tribal knowledge that I don't know. Hamburger menu zooms. Okay, test zoom when you close the browser and restore in a single site. So let's go back. Let's keep using JS Fiddle here. I'm going to zoom really far. Gonna close it, go back, and I'm gonna redeploy JS Fiddle, and look at that, it passes that test case. That's pretty self-explanatory, so we can go ahead and leave it like that. So test zoom saved when you navigate within a single origin site. Okay, that... So I'm thinking what that means. I'm trying to see if I can maybe navigate to some other different... All right, let's try something else here. Okay, so we'll go from here. So I'm thinking that these this manual for instruction here, test zoom saved when you navigate within single origin site. On intuition, I think that means, I will zoom in here on a certain page. I'll go like this, so it looks like it keeps a normal zoom level or default zoom level here. But when I go back, it goes back to that zoom, where I wanted it to be zoomed, that page. It kept that zoom setting. So I think that's what that means, but I think I'm going to go ahead and seek more clarification on that. Command C it, Command V. More detail needed. Yes, and so basically navigating to different origin resets the zoom. So again, probably need different wording for that for somebody who is trying to do this, use these instructions, and maybe don't have the knowledge initially, or maybe speaks a different language. So there we go. Okay. Test that about preference default bravery settings take effect on pages with no site settings. So we go back. So I don't think I have any site settings set up here. So what we will do is navigate back to Reddit. Okay, so no site settings. Those are my default settings to go to peek here. So maybe some clarification on this one. I mean, I can figure this out, but again, we want to make this as accessible as possible. So more detailed. Oops. Instruction. Test that's third party. So we're going to go ahead here and continue the bravery settings here. Test that third party storage results are blank at HT. So at the JS Fiddle site, this URL right here, when third party cookies are blocked, and not blank when third party cookies are unblocked. So hold up, I need that as an instruction set here. And it's always kind of a good idea. A tip I'm trying to stick with here is opposed to just hitting these links and kind of having them take over your manual test checklist. It's always just good to open up a new tab with them so you can kind of switch back and forth. Boom. Okay. So storage. So I think we're looking for this to not be blanked. So boom. Okay. So looks like it is doing its thing. Go to block third-party cookies. And it's going to be blank. So, yep, it works. Okay, so we're going to test that audio fingerprint and test that audio fingerprint is blocked at audio fingerprint URL right here. When fingerprint protection is on. So, link a new tab. So it looks like we had a change here in fingerprint using oscillator nodes. Oh, here we go, visualization graph. So I think maybe, I mean, most people will look at this and see that the fingerprint graph is definitely, you know, fingerprinting them without the shield up for fingerprints. And for here, we're not even gaining a visualization, although we do have some data here. That looks like 0. Cool. So it looks like it's blocking everything. Perfect. So, you know, I think for this we might want to put more description of how this test is running. So, in particular, more description, I would say possibly like what signifies a successful test as opposed to an unsuccessful task. And for me, just intuitively looking at that, I think the visualization graph and then just it not having zeros here is the fingerprint using oscillator nodes and fingerprint using hybrid oscillator nodes. But I'll have to check just to be sure. But description on this particular test as to what is a successful pass and is a failure. Okie doke. All right, so we're getting towards the end here. All right. So we are going to go to this website here. Close some of these tabs. And click on the Twitter icon on the top right. Test that the context menu work with a new Twitter tab. Click on that. Cool. Yep, so that works. Go ahead and... So that makes sense here. Now that we know what a context menu is. Cool. All right. So that works. So load Twitter and click on a tweet so the pop-up div shows. Click to dismiss and repeat another div. Make sure it shows. Okay. So load Twitter. Okay, so basically I am just going to be clicking on these tweets. And let's see this pop-up div here. Boom, that works. This works. So it looks like that is self-explanatory there. Boom. Okay, so we're going to go to this website. Allow. Okay, and we'll go back to
That is so cool. What is it? Like, what part of it? It's social sciences,
so show pops up notification
media studies.
and then deny it,
Yeah, so we're talking about like the representation.
and nothing being shown. Cool. All right, we're going to go to tour project. Okay, and we're going to go to that URL, make sure that the password can be saved. Make sure that a saved password shows up in about passwords and then reloads. And make sure the password is autofilled. Cool. So I should make a password probably. Let's see, just say Joe. Just make a really easy password.
Still open. But I think it's because it's during the summer. Oh, and not everybody takes summer classes. Yeah. But I know case study and representation. Orange is the new one. That's really interesting. That's really cool. Reading the first four, we're watching the first four seasons. We're reading,
So let me go ahead and register really quick.
Essays from a special issue of television and new media. Essays from feminist perspectives on Orange is the New Black. Excerpts from Foucault's Discipline and Punish. The film 13.
Oh, let's try this again.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, considering that it's more so about representation in the story, the book's not going to be like crazy different. But it's really interesting because that's just such a huge thing. I mean, it's a big deal. Yeah, I need another gender studies class for my economy, so that counts. Let's see. Yeah, we're focusing on diverse ethnic and LGBTQ
Okay, so
rape and illness and exposure from prison system.
oh, so what I need to do is change my login type here as not one password, but the Brave built-in. And try it again.
Yeah. And I don't know. I'm reserving judgment until I see it. Because in the original, not the show, but the movie,
Sweet. Okay. Looks like it is saved here, so we can go ahead and pass that test. And type some misspellings. Make sure they are underlined. Manual issue test.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I totally get that. But it is
I'll
like
do I am
kind of like this
good
confusion
with
and like
spelling.
and I
I
think
guess that's actually a
you
word.
guys
All right, let me
will probably not ever like a large portion will never make the connection of, oh, this is from this other thing, and it kind of is like taken a little
Okay,
bit of
so it looks
credit.
like we have some
I don't know if credit is the best.
misspellings here. So
I know
that go
the
ahead and
the schools are
pass.
definitely more like
So that catches it.
close. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I know
Make sure that the right clicking on a word with suggestions giving the suggestion that clicking on the suggestion replaces the text. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward here. I don't think we need any clarification on that, but we will go ahead and right click.
that's what I hear. I
It
always
replaces it.
literally for years I've been meaning to watch it. And I just
I am gut with
but
speed. Cool. So it does replace those misspelled words. So, okay. Make sure command click on a link opens a new tab but does not switch to it.
that must have been a fun paper to write.
Command click. And it didn't switch to it, so perfect. Okay. Open an email. Let me snag a password here for this.
And of course like the sea it wasn't really
Oops.
that's and I love that movie so much. Like when me and my started watching it.
Actually, let me snag it off here, I guess.
Like while I watch it. Taking notes furiously like this, that, all these things. That is so cool. I think I had one cool class in college where it was about like the uncanny.
And I might edit out this part.
So much fun. And I remember we got to
Copy.
write all
Open up a school email.
Freud stuff and that and like making comparisons with movies. And so basically it was like pick a movie and find all these different representations of
Do
that
know.
original
And
definition of like the
let's see here.
words that the
Let's go back to the test
like
and click on a link and make sure it works. Okay, sweet. So we will go ahead and
something and it was just
we'll go grab the New York Times here and redirect. Boom.
that was super fun. And literally
So
every day
wait a
in
minute.
class,
What is it trying to say to expect though?
we would watch a clip from a movie or a TV show or a piece of music or like a music video.
So
And
it definitely works with the with opening up. Here we go, view in browser.
It was. They have these things called UGS
Sweet.
classes at
Okay.
UT.
So
It's
that
like
test passes, and that is pretty self-explanatory.
like a signature class.
And we're going to go ahead and test that a PDF is loaded. Command click that. Perfect. And go back. So the next test on this is test that this URL shows up as gray and not red. Cool. And it looks like it is that. And this is pretty detailed, so all right. We're going to go ahead and go to Flash tests. So turn on Flash and about preference security. Test that clicking on install Flash banner on myspace.com shows a notification to allow Flash and that the banner disappears when allow is clicked. Okay.
Google it. UGS 303, Professor, I'm pretty sure it's Richmond Garza. Yeah, and I wrote a paper about like how vampires
Oh, where is
change
it?
over time. Because we read Dracula. Oh, she's awesome. And
So I think that this shouldn't be. So turn on Flash and about preference on security. I think this should be hashtag plugins now. So I'm going to go ahead and recommend that we add something there for that. So to activate Flash plugin, go to about preferences plugins. And let's go ahead and test that out. Just make sure. Oh, well, look right there. It's got that in the URL bar. So it must be installed from Adobe. So okay. Okay, so test that clicking install Flash banner on MySpace shows a notification to allow Flash and that the banner disappears when it is allowed. Huh. So I think this may need to be updated here. Turn on Flash banner. Install Flash banner. So it's not asking me. There's no install Flash here. It's basically saying just go to Adobe's website and do this to download it. Alright, let's try this again. Huh. That doesn't seem to be working, so that might be an issue right there.
It's like, oh, like, I'm still like, that's also a good day. I had that
Okay,
song.
so I'll probably need to put in a ticket for that to work, so update
That's really cool that she incorporated songs too.
Dave Flash
Every day when we would come into class,
test
we
to
would
reflect
stuff on.
current
Oh, that's sweet.
MySpace Flash setup.
That cool as a professor.
Cool, alright.
She
Test that Flash placeholder appears on Homestar Runner.
professors from
The old great Homestar.
but this is something they really want to teach, and they just want to teach a class on it. And so there are all sorts of classes. There are classes about like, what's the possibility of there being life on other planets? Like, what is like?
And it
what's
does.
philosophy? They're just
So this is the placeholder here.
passionate about in their free time.
Boom.
Does something with like European
Uh,
languages, something, and he helped create the language that the vampires speak in 30 Days of Night. Yeah. So Eastern European.
Mr. Joe.
My undergraduate minor was in Russian. They have a major Russian department. And there's a professor there that's taught a class previously about vampires. That might be him. Maybe. That literally might be him. I don't know.
So I think we have to set up autofill first here. So
There are a couple of programs.
let's go to So we're going to go ahead and manage our autofill data. Say Joe Martinez, the world 111, Peppermint Lane, Austin, Texas 765, USA 111, 111. Jodo. Sweet. Okay, so we'll go ahead here.
But I love that kind of stuff. I like secondhand, like learning about all that stuff.
Cool.
And all like the stuff behind it.
I don't think this is working here. That might actually be a test that is failing. So my autofill settings don't seem to be working. I can kind of see them blink in every time I type.
I don't think I can do it. I probably could. This is a perfect project to start on it because
Yeah. So that's an issue that'll need to be worked out there. So it looks like we caught something. So autofill not working.
how even is that a thing?
Not working. And then I think I'll put in a recommendation for us to put more detail here. Recommendation for more detail to set up initial autofill. Fill information. Cool. So let's see here. We have session storage. Do not forget to make a backup of your entire support Brave folder. And I think we did that. So temporarily move away your library, application, support Brave, and test. I don't know if I really know how to do that. Test that Windows and tabs. I think I'll save that after I get some instruction here. Make up a backup of your profile, turn on all clearing and preferences and shut down. Make sure when you bring the browser back up, everything is gone that is specified. Okay, so we'll go here, preferences. I'm going to clear browsing data. And yes.
It takes time to get the muscle memory down. But this way.
And I can tell that it worked because now I am logged out. Sign in.
Two-color knitting, like Fair Isle. I hold one color in both hands so that you can go back and forth. Oh man! And this is why I.
Perfect. So looks like that worked. And let's just test one thing really quick here. So I just saved bookmarks, but everything else looks like it is gone. Okay. And we'll go command, click, and set an ever cookie.
Feels weird. Yeah. But it's nice. Can I practice this on my phone? If I had another. Do I have another rando thing that I'm like, how do I start a new color again? And like, I'll try it on that one before I do it on this.
So let's go check this test out again. Go to that, set an ever cookie, check that going to prefs, clearing site data and cache, and going back to ever cookie site does not remember the old ever cookie value.